Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping in. I sure appreciate it. Playing with some lighting yet again. Hang tight with me. But today is a different kind of video. If you've been here for a minute, you know, for a while there I was working 2 jobs. I recently turned in my equipment for my second job due to a lot of really big life changes coming my way. But of course that opened up a little bit of downtime, and of course I can't be a normal person and enjoy that downtime. I freaked out and thought, oh my god, I need to fill the void. So I've now started a project that's gonna fill that void. So let's talk about it. Okay guys, trying a mixture of like natural lighting and artificial lighting. Let me know what you think about this. But before we get too far into this, my lip combo is my current obsession, okay? So I line and mostly fill in my lips with the NYX lip pencil here in Nude Truffle. You can kind of see that nice neutral brown color there. And then the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. And this one is in Honey Talks. This combo has my heart. I'm obsessed. Okay, now that I got that obsession out of the way, today, like I stated in the intro, I feel like I had to fill a void that didn't need filled. And so I don't know how long I can make this work. I'm hoping I can really make this last all year. That is really my goal. But what I've kind of done here is, don't judge my like really old notebook here, but I just have a binder and I just have like this. I haven't decorated the front, made it all cute yet because I've been working on the inside. I will put in some close-ups here for you because obviously you're not going to be able to really see this with me holding it up, but I just kind of want to give you a quick like vision of what I've got going on here. So on this first page, whoa, I just threw the pencil that was in there. And again, I'll put close-ups here in just a minute, but just so you can see on the first page here, I have my master copy right here, and then I have like my month to month, and I'll explain that more in detail in just a second. But for the point of today, it's more or less focused on this master copy and what's coming up next. So master copy for what, Michaela? I guess that would be helpful, huh? I'll put the master copy up here while I'm talking about it. So I have a subconscious need to touch every pan in a palette because I don't know if Toy Story destroyed me or not. I just, even though I know in my heart, mind, body, and soul that this is an inanimate object, I feel bad that maybe these other pans in these palettes I'm not touching feel bad. It's insane. Somebody admit me somewhere, please. I subconsciously was already doing a no pan left behind kind of situation. And so I kind of started thinking like, am I actually touching every pan, or am I subconsciously worrying about touching it but not actually using it? Because a lot of my palettes, I have a go-to color or a go-to look, and I want to make sure I am actually touching everything in my collection. So that's kind of what this master copy that I have up here is. So what it is, if you can see the details, I'll zoom in a little bit. I have listed every single palette in my collection. And you'll see there at the top, I have like my Nomad Ghost Town, Hudson Valley, Okavango Safari, all of my Natasha Denona. It goes all the way down. Then you'll see in the next column, shades. That's how many shades or colors or pans, however you want to look at that. I chose shades for the moment. I should have used pans looking at this because this is a no pan left behind. But that's where my brain went, and it's too late to fix it because I'm too lazy and don't want to reprint this. So shades it is. Then I have a complete column, a date column, and a note column. The reason I even gave myself a complete column is because if I choose to declutter a palette, or if my klutziness drop a palette, shatter a couple shades, it's obviously not going to get completed, and then I can make that note in the notes column. But I am curious to see how I can get through all of these pans. Now I have a total of 71 products. 64 of those are palettes, 7 of them are singles. So that single could be a shadow stick or a single shadow, but the remaining 64 products are at least 4 or more pans per palette. So that's kind of where I was going with this. So it's a total of 729 pans or shades, or however you want to look at it. One column says shade, one says pan. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this, but I think I was just a little too excited. But ultimately, I have 729 pans that I need to touch throughout the year. And I decided to start this in February because I've been working on this since the end of December, beginning of January. But I opted to actually make an official start on this in February because for me, at least, in late December, early January, I'm still fighting like end of year sales, post-Christmas sales. So I'm still picking things up. And then of course, you know, you get gift cards and stuff like that for Christmas. So I'm still buying stuff in January. So I feel like February for me personally is the truest start to a fresh year for me. Because by mid-January, I've already, you know, used up my gift cards. Or if I'm going to use them, I've already used them. I might be saving them up. But at least for this current situation, I think February is a good starting point for myself. So this is going to be a February 24 to February 25 event. So I've got my master copy here, as you guys have seen. And then I also have a monthly copy. And I will put in a close-up of that right here as well, because holding this up is kind of bulky and you're really not going to see much. But let me get there. Okay. So you'll see that I have 3 columns here. I have palettes, pans used, and date. So for example, starting February 1st, I already know that I'm going into my newest palette, which is my Natasha Denona Retro palette. And for the sake of documenting, what I'm doing is instead of listing out each individual shade, which personally I think will be overwhelming, and I really don't think I gave myself enough space here, but I was also limited, you know, to a single page here, I'm going to go by numbers. So it doesn't matter what palette I have. It doesn't matter what shades, what order. It's going to go in numerical order. So this is shade 1, shade 2, shade 3, shade 4, shade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So no matter the size of the palette, no matter what shade is where, what kind of product it is, it will just kind of go down in a countdown like that. Like for example, this would be the same kind of concept. So this would be shade 1, shade 2, shade 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how I'm planning on documenting the pans used. So for example, if, you know, this is February 2nd and I've dipped into this palette, I'll just document Morphe Vintage Rose, pans used. And let's say I did crease, outer corner, lid. So then I would document shades 1, 2, and 3. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Maybe not. My brain does function in a special kind of way. That's kind of how I intend on documenting this. Of course, I'll print out a new sheet every month and document as we go. I know I gave myself way too many lines on this because there's not that many days in February. But if I need to expand on pans used or any notes or anything like that, I gave myself some extra space. But that's kind of how I intend on doing this. I haven't quite decided if I want to do like a monthly update with you guys or if I want to do like a quarterly update, but I do want to come back and update you as I go because that'll also help keep me accountable. So let me know, is this something you want to see at the start of every month? How did I do the month before? So like, do you want me to come back on March 1st and say, here's what I did in February? Or do you want to see this quarterly? You let me know. And if you don't let me know, I plan on doing it every month until you tell me this is boring. Also, for the ones that I don't reach my goal on, because my goal right now is hitting every pan in my February rotation. Whatever I don't hit in my February rotation will roll into March. So that also helps me stay conscious of the looks I'm using. So if I don't want to carry a pink palette into March, then maybe use up some of those pink shades first in the month of February so that more neutral shades roll into March. That's kind of where my brain is going, but I just really want to make sure I'm touching every single pan in my collection. And going back a little bit, my total pans was 79. When I first got that total, I went, oh, I will never use this. But then I got to thinking, and you know, I use a bare minimum of 3 shades per look, but realistically 4 to 5. I don't usually use more than 5 because then it starts to get muddy and I just don't have that kind of space or love of space on my eyes for a look like that. But I'm typically using 3 to 5 shades. So realistically, I can touch every shade in my palettes, every palette I own in less than 6 months if I'm doing 5 shades every look. But I also gave myself a little bit of grace too because I like to have a makeup-free day, 1 day per week, just to kind of give my face a rest. And, you know, I don't know if it's good or not to have makeup on your face every day, but I like to give my skin a break. So I did account for that as well. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. I'm really excited because I feel like this is going to keep me focused. It's going to give me a small project without overwhelming me. I know that I'm not a project panner. That is not my goal. I don't want to pan. I mean, pan is exciting. It is definitely exciting, but that's not a journey I want to go on. I don't want to focus on 1 or 2 shades for a long time just to pan it because I get bored quickly. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I'm sure you guys are curious about what you were seeing my monthly pages. So I'll go ahead and open up to January. Now, I have a Cricut machine. That's like the arts and crafts machine. I actually have a couple of them. I was huge into arts and crafts. I still kind of am, but not near as strong as I was before. But I do enjoy DIY stuff. And so my Cricuts really help me with that. So, and I also have an obscene amount of scrapbook paper, and I don't scrapbook. Does anybody want some scrapbook paper? But so I thought I would take advantage of my obscene collection, and so I will go ahead and show you guys January. I'm a little ashamed of myself for the month of January when I look at what I spent. But that's what I like about this is it's like a wake-up call. Hello, Michaela, look what you spent. And so I have 2 pages for each month. As you guys are seeing, I will slide over a little bit so I can put a close-up here of January. I have 3 categories here. Date, product, and cost. Pretty self-explanatory. And you can see I bought a lot of stuff in January. And again, I am kind of ashamed, but kind of not, because I'm enjoying the products that I bought, but like also I don't want to put a total yet at the bottom. But I do have 2 pages for every month. So this is the in page. And then what you guys are seeing now is the out page. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, date, product, and E or D. E is empty, D is declutter. So this helps me feel better about the first page. So like I said, this was just something fun. And then of course I have one for every month. And then I have pages, just like regular notebook pages in between, just for like notes throughout the month of like video ideas and things like that. And yeah, I just thought it was different and fun. And I needed to use up some of the scrapbook paper. If you want some, let me know. And yeah, this just kind of gave me something to do on a Saturday afternoon when I would typically be working. And I really wasn't feeling that great. And so I needed something to make me feel better. And I didn't want to put on makeup that day. So this was just a lot of fun. But yeah, so coming back to my master copy, which you can see back up here, this is just kind of like... I've said it several times. It's a master copy. So once I've completed a palette, I know I've hit every shade in it. I will come and document it on this page. That way I know as I start to get, towards the middle of the year, I can look at this and go, I haven't touched this palette at all. I've only touched 2 shades in this palette, 2 shades in this palette. An overview of where I'm at and what I'm doing, but having my rotation and focusing on my rotation will help me keep track of the palettes that I'm currently using. And then once I know I've hit every pan in that palette, it'll be real easy to come back to my master copy and document that. So at least I'm hoping that's how this is going to go, which is kind of why I'm looking forward to like a monthly update so I can see what's working, what's not. So again, not a project pan, but a project no pan left behind situation. But I just wanted to share. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I sure appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.